what's going on? It's another video game review by P, and this week we're doing Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I have spent a lot of time playing this game since it's come out. Said it was one of the ones I had on pre-order, so I had to get it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. The storyline for this one basically takes place between Resident Evil 2 and 3. So you do get to see Nemesis in it, and you also get to see Leon Kennedy in it, as well as Ada. So pretty much this game comes with quite a few options. It has a lot of different modes as far as the multiplayer goes. We're supposed to be getting some DLC, possibly to play Spec Op missions in it. That hasn't come out yet. But you have 6 characters from the USS Wolfpack that you can pick from. That's characters like Bertha, Lupo, Four Eyes, Vector, Spectre, and Beltway. I put a lot of time in playing Beltway because, you know, there's just something about shoving a grenade into the mouth of a zombie or a person that's just like, wow. But each one of the characters has their own set of abilities and sort of perks, so they're not just skin swap palettes of each other, so to speak. So you can also go and buy pretty much more of the costumes and such, because, you know, they got to make money. And also too, we have things like leaderboards, and they keep up with your stats pretty well, your unlockables, pretty much how you've been progressing through the game and such. I haven't been doing horribly bad, but this is certainly not the usual Resident Evil entry. Number one, you can run and gun. That's kind of new for Resident Evil, let's be honest. 4 and 5, yeah, we could run and gun, but we still had to kind of sort of do a little selecting about what we were doing per se. So with this one, yeah, the controls are different. Pretty much you can literally run and gun, and that's what it's about, is kind of keeping the fast-paced action. As you go through, there are certain areas where you just clean out every mob or monster that's walking around, and there are other areas where you really just need to pick up an item and push through. Pretty much most of this review is going to take place on one stage. There are basically 7 stages on this game, so this game is actually rather short. But the AI isn't the most horrible AI, but let's just say it like this. Your AI characters are pretty much leaving it up to you to kill stuff. So with that being said, expect that headache. But since this is pretty much meant to be online, playing it online with people you don't know or friends is actually traumatically greater. As a matter of fact, when I played through this game, I had a random guy, Punisher or something, you'll see his name up there. Pretty much, if he happens to watch this, thanks, because I needed the assistance. But to basically have at least one live character with the bots is definitely a plus. When you play with 3, you'll definitely see that the person who's lacking will be the non-playable character at the time. But the cool thing is that as people join, they can just pick whoever you have in your squad at the time. Also too, this is not really a squad-based game, as you can pretty much tell. Sorry about that, that's my phone going off. People need to talk to me. But pretty much as you go through, you can't just call in your squad members and command them to do anything, because there's nothing like that. Or if there is, I certainly couldn't find it. But pretty much if you have headsets, you can kind of tell each other what you need to do. Now, when this running gun kind of thing, it gives a feel that's kind of similar to Left 4 Dead, but it's completely different. And what I mean by that is, as you play, you know, you get to play as any of the 4 squad characters and such. Like pretty much Bertha is good at healing you, and she can also infect people, just like Four Eyes can also do the same deal. When you play as Beltway, he's pretty much the brute, so he starts off with the combat shotgun, and Vector is pretty much like the group's badass. He's the guy. I mean, he pretty much just pulls out his knife and does what he needs to do. Spectre is basically like the thief slash treasure hunter guy. He can see everything that you kind of need to see and know about as you come up. Four Eyes can also take a look to see exactly how infected people around them are and such, and sort of where they are in position. And I just know I'm forgetting somebody, because we've already talked about Vector, and we've talked about Spectre, and we've talked about Beltway. We've talked about Four Eyes, and we talked about Bertha, who is the medic, if I didn't say that. But we didn't talk about Lupo. Okay, Lupo has bullets that set the undead on fire, and a gun and these are like her options that can also fire rounds that set them on fire. It's cool to see, but yeah, it's really cool to see. But also too, you do see some old school enemies that everyone's kind of grown to hate or love. Nikolai is in this, as reported, and so is William from part 2. And as a matter of fact, just so you know, as you play through this game, they tend to punish the point man. When you're playing by yourself, you have no choice but to just handle what they throw at you. When you're playing with others, yeah, you can let that guy who wants to lead everything lead everything. Because just because he dies doesn't mean it stops the party for the rest of you. So pretty much, if you have a comrade down and you just can't get to him because they're in too worse of a spot, go to your next objective, and he'll just respawn. That's basically how you do it. That's really basically how you do it. Also, too, Bertha and Four Eyes. Well, no, Four Eyes doesn't, but Bertha respawns with aid spray. As I've learned from experience, it may not be a good idea to kill your medic just because you need aid spray. Because, quick story, one of my friends, while we were playing, and one of his boys, pretty much had a conversation that came up about, yeah, we need some health, so we're going to just kill you and bring you back, and then you can heal us. Well, what happened is he did kill him, but he got infected, and the zombie tore him apart. So when he came back, the medic, he shot all three of us and just decided to take care of the mission himself. So it was an entertaining moment, about a good 5 to 10 minutes of good laughter. Now in this one, I've edited it so I look awesome in this footage. Feel like that's me trying to control or affect those guys. It didn't really work out, so I ended up just shooting all of those dudes. And Punisher is playing as Bertha, which is definitely a good thing. You get a variety of weapons, and the DLC weapons are actually nice too. You don't have to have the DLC to try out those weapons, by the way, which I think is a rather cool thing. But as I progressed through the game, I found myself getting addicted to just killing zombies. Just something about that. Plus side is aid spray is pretty much for group cure. The antibacterial spray is pretty much, antiviral spray is good for group cure. And when you pop green herbs, they're like, it's for an individual. Just things that you might want to note that are different. Pretty much, the shotguns are nice. The spec ops are actually kind of strong. One headshot does not per se put them down, even if you're using a sniper rifle. So, you know, just keep that in mind. The sniper rifle ain't the bread and butter that you might expect it to be. Shotguns are good for close encounters, but you definitely want an assault rifle if you can't figure out what you want to play as. It's a nice balanced gun. There are guns that are stronger than that, but you need to keep up with ammo. And pretty much there's ammo spread throughout all these stages. There are some boss fights in this game, if you could call them boss fights, but they're not pure boss fights, and they're not per se purely mini boss fights or anything like that. But you know, Resident Evil kind of likes to give you something that makes you work. Big scary guy that comes to beat you up, and you have to figure out how to best them. So you will get to see him fight some Mr. X's as well as Nemesis.
This will help.
And you will definitely see where some of the storyline with Resident Evil comes together, which I'm going to have a video, and it's going to probably be a rant, by the way, about the storyline for Resident Evil as I see it, or as my friends and I have talked about it. It comes with a conversation a lot. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. But all in all, the gameplay of this stuff is like unexpectedly fun. Even had my friend who comes over and usually just complains about what's wrong with all the games that he plays, and once he like picked it up and whatnot, he was literally all in it. So it's addictive. It's not rocket science to play. It doesn't have all the crazy quirks per se that the original Resident Evil had. There are a lot of things that really work well in it, and man, I certainly enjoy playing it. As a matter of fact, it's just been fun. I've got like my character level up to like 41 throughout this all the various gameplay of just going through and finding the collectible data and pretty much trying to find all the little extra doodads and such, like the typewriter is actually in City Hall, so you got to try and find all 3 of the typewriters. And they're in places you'd expect them to be, but, you know, you still have to touch them and such as an item. You get various, well, you can check GameFAQs.com to see what kind of awards and such you get for completing one. But this game has definitely played the offer, and if the Spec Ops DLC comes in, yeah, I'm definitely hopping on that. But soon I'll be also hopping on buying the extra guns and stuff, so I'll have them, and I'll be going through to finish unlocking all this other stuff that I'm using. I love the fact that they mix so many different elements into it, and they do a good job of sort of telling the story, although once you start playing, you could care less about the story. But to actually hear these guys' side of the story, where you always known they were there, but you didn't per se know why they were there, it's nice to have that filled in and such. And also too, the various Raccoon City raccoons that they have hidden throughout stages is also a nice plus too. It's just an enjoyable game. And you know what? There's more that I can say about it. I'm just going to leave it at that, so that you have some uninterrupted time of just being able to watch gameplay without me yakking all over it. But like, so that's what I'm going to do. As usual, at the end, you know, if you like supporting this, you know, comment, because that lets me know that people are actually like watching these things. Like it because you like it. Then like, subscribe because you want to see what I'm going to post next. And with that being said, also too, I'm just going to also say, as usual, you know, be sure to check out my website at www.amway.com/pdkm. That's while I sell products and such, and as you purchase stuff from there, you pay me for the stuff that you can purchase from there. So they've got energy drinks and all sorts of stores, all sorts of things there too. If you join up, you also get access to our partner stores. That's places like Kmart, Sears, and Best Buy, that type of place, that type of thing. So if you purchase stuff from them online, you can purchase through me. It's pretty much for the same price, and occasionally we do have sales that aren't necessarily offered directly in store. So, you know, that just gives you some varieties and such. Plus, you know, I'm trying to make money doing this because I do like it already. So, although lately I've been working pretty hard, so I've been sick for the last few days, so I've had a chance to get so much stuff done. Well, I wasn't like playing sick. I was actually getting sick. I'm still trying to get over my sinuses. But, that's all just too much about me. But speaking of infections too, if you play the game, one thing to watch out for Your team can become infected just like you can become infected. And if you do, you can hit them with the antiviral spray, or your medical field scientist can hopefully shoot them up to something to cure them. But just keep in mind that if they do become infected, you may have to put your homeboy down. And if you don't put your homeboy down, there's a good chance he's going to put you down. So it adds a whole new thing to it. And it's just funny when you see a team with no antibacterial spray, how fast they will just shoot and cut somebody down. Now, the your NPC character, if provided they're not infected, has no problem killing you if you turn. So keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. But enjoy.
Get away from me! Watch out!
Watch out! Cover me! Bertha will always fix you up good.
So many people he's fed to the infected. His mind's been warped.
Ooh, looks like fun. We have a mission, yes?
Good. Now proceed to the records room and finish the job.
Take cover!
Grenade! Live
Grenade!
grenade! Incoming! Grenade!
I need cover!
Bertha will always fix you up good.
Nikolai, what is the meaning of this? And why did you kill your team?
They served their purpose most excellently. Just as you.
Nikolai, hold your position. Again, you'll regret it.
The T-virus is spreading in my body. I won't have long.
caused all of this. In the meantime, we'll look into that UBCS operative, Nikolai.